Hello everyone and welcome back to Genie Craft. It's the Christmas month, so today I'll be showing you the basics of how to build a Christmas themed light box. Also there is a surprise announcement at the end, so stay tuned and enjoy the video. A light box is a type of paper art where you have different layers intricately cut and then put on top of each other with a little gap between each layers. And when you put a light at the back of this entire structure, it gives it a feeling of a 3D landscape. So the first thing that you need is a template for the different layers. Here what you see on screen is something that I have hand drawn quickly since I did not want to copy any already available template from the internet, so I have hand drawn it. The second thing that you need, an important thing, is a shadow box. A shadow box is a box which contains a little depth in it. So when you create gap between the layers, the entire width of your structure will increase and the shadow box should be able to accommodate the entire width. To make the different layers of the light box, it is recommended to use a cardstock or 250 to 270 GSM thickness paper. But since I have run out of that GSM paper with me, so I am using a thinner paper of 140 GSM. Place your template on top of your cardstock paper or the paper which you are using for the different layers of the light box. Hold it in place with the help of clips or by gluing at the four corners, and then remove the excess part. Use a sharp blade because now you are cutting not just one layer but you are cutting two different layers, one the template paper and the other is the actual layer of the light box. So ensure that your knife is sharp while you are cutting it. Follow the same process for creating all the layers, and once you have all your layers ready, stack them on top of each other to see that if they are aligned properly and whatever design you envisioned in your mind while creating the template is coming out properly. When you are creating a light box, there is a scope of bringing in a lot of light effects. So in this particular video, I'll be talking about two particular light effects. The first effect is how to ensure certain portions of the front layers are more lighted than the other parts of that particular layer. In any light box, the front layer will always be the darkest layer due to the shadow being cast by the subsequent layers. But if you want something to be lighted in one of the front layers, what you need to do is you need to ensure that all the layers coming after that particular layer have holes cut onto them so that the light can penetrate from different layer onto the frontmost layers. The second effect I'll talk about in a while, but now it's time to stack layers on top of each other. Like I said before, a light box consists of layers separated by a little gap between each layer. But how do we achieve that gap? Different artists use different methods. Some people use double-sided tape because it helps in creating an even gap between the two layers. Then there are artists who also use foam strips along the borders of the two layers to create that even gap. But if you don't have enough supply of all these two items, in that case what you can do is that you can stick two thick papers together, create thin stripes out of it and use them as a separator between the two layers, and this is what I am going to do to separate all the layers of this light box. Using a Fevicol or a transparent glue, I am going to stick those small stripes at even places along all four borders and at the center of each of the four edges. But ensure you are sticking these layer separators, whether it's paper strip or double-sided tape or foam sheet, on the back side of each layer, not on the front of the layer, and it's a very common mistake people do while creating light box. Similarly, prepare rest of the sheets and then we will start sticking the different layers together using the separators that we have put on each of the layers. So the process is very simple. You align the layers perfectly, ensure that the layers are aligned in terms of design, borders and everything, and then you put glue on top of your separators. In case it's a double-sided tape, then you remove the lamination from the other side and you stick both the layers together. Once you have joined the two layers together, you will find that an even gap has been formed between both the layers. In a similar fashion, keep stacking one layer on top of another until you have finished with all the layers. Now comes the second effect that I want to introduce in this light box. It's the blur effect or the silhouette effect. So what I want to do is, as the background of this entire scenery, I want to create a silhouette of two clouds and a sun, but I don't want them to shine too bright. I want them to look like that we are looking at a foggy morning or a foggy day. So the silhouette effect. To achieve that, first you need to cover the background with a completely solid paper without any paper cuts in it. It will act as a filter for the light and you will see a shadow effect rather than a brightly shining sun. Next, put the layer containing the cutout for the sun and the cloud, but without any gap from the previous layer. The reason I am not putting gap between these two layers is to ensure that the brightness of the sun is not too low, but if you want the brightness to dim further, you can increase the gap between these two layers. The more the gap, the less bright your sun would be in the final rendering of your light box. And finally, the last layer of the light box, on which you will stick your LED strip light at the back of it. Ensure that there is always some gap between this layer and rest of the light box. And here we are with our light box. And now it's time to frame it up. So what I'm going to do is that the frame I showed you in the beginning, I'm going to open that frame from the back and insert the light box upside down. Next, take a strip of LED light and stick it on the backmost layer. Normally all shadow boxes will come with a hole for you to put the wire inside the frame. If not, create one hole and ensure that you are taking out the wire. Once you are done sticking the LED light, you close up the frame and plug your LED light into a power source so that you can see your light box in action. And here is the light box in action. The first effect which I talked about, how you can allow light to come through to the front layers, and the second effect, the silhouette effect, you can see that the sun and cloud are not too bright. You can only see a silhouette or a blur of the sun and cloud. And now the time for the surprise announcement. With all your love and support, I'll be able to reach 1000 subscribers in a very short span of time. When I reach that goal, I'll be doing a giveaway of essential papercraft items to one of the randomly selected winners. To participate in this, all you need to do is subscribe to my channel and comment on this video. And when I reach the 1000 mark, I'll randomly select one person as winner from the people who have commented on the video. I hope you guys found this paper light box tutorial useful. If you guys like this video, then please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Till then, stay safe, take care and bye bye.